Hi everybody, ready for the Friday review. And before we start, I have a last minute birthday present from my son. It feels very Transformer boxy. I'm just really hoping it isn't one I've already got. What do you think?
It might not be.
Might not be, okay. Should we find out? Please not be one I've already got. Please not be one I've already got. Please not be one I've already got. Really nervous. Please don't be one I've already got. Okay, so it's Legacy. And it's Legacy Knockout. Look at that. Guess what, son?
What?
Haven't got it. Yay! Almost picked him up the other day, but I picked up Override instead. So, yes. I've been told by Belucius this is a very good figure, but isn't Knockout. But it's fine. I'm more than happy with that. I almost picked him up myself. So, he's pretty. Okay, let's move him out of the way because it's not his review. Instead, we're going to review something else I got for my birthday. Hooray! We're going to review this. This is Transformers Kingdom, whatever it is, Shadow Panther. This is the inevitable path of let's just paint something a different colour and sell it again and see if we make money. Now, a lot of people will be saying, oh, it's just a cheap repaint. Why are you interested? Blah, blah. Well, I didn't buy it for a start. And second, if we go down the path of cheap repaints, which I've complained about them before, but if we go down that path, that's 90% of Transformers. I mean, that's like looking at Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp and saying, oh, they're all just the same thing, just buy one of them. So, you got to be careful with these things in the Transformers fandom. Sometimes a lick of paint will give it a different character. Sometimes it's the same thing in different colours, and you don't care. There are shades to it, unfortunately. Like those shades to toys. No, I'm all right, okay. So, this is literally the Cheetor from that series in different colours. Or should I say, lack of colours. It's a Black Panther or something called Shadow Panther. So, you know. And it looks like this. It's just black with big red eyes that kind of make him look a little bit cute. You know, like if you have a cat with a red eye and you flash. There are little bits of yellow and bits of silver poking through from the robot mode, but technically you shouldn't be able to see those, so it's just black. I'll be honest, this mode doesn't sell itself very well, because even if you open the mouth, the teeth are black. That doesn't work, does it? Like that. Needs to brush those. You know, the fluff inside the ears, black. It's a little bit of detail just to break the black up a bit would have been a lot better. And I suppose I could do that myself, but should I have to? Like the nails are black, which can happen. It's just one of those. It's a bit like, see at the back here where it's just got the bit of silver, which then makes the black look darker because there's a bright next to the dark. That's great. But then you look at the top and it's just black. It kind of loses a little something. It's a shame because it's, you know. And let's get in the size comparison. The inevitable one, let's face it, there's always going to be one, which is Cheetor. And kind of just looks like Cheetor's shadow, really, doesn't it? But then I've read the TF wiki, and apparently he's a spy, and he's so dedicated to being a spy, he made himself look like Cheetor. But he also apparently has like knockout gas or something. I don't know where he's releasing it from. And I'm being passed another size comparison because, of course, I guess we have to, because there was an original version of this as well, thank you very much, which is original Beast Wars Cheetor. Because apparently this was repainted black and released as Shadow Panther, but it might have been like a Japan exclusive or something. I don't know. Ask Toys R Us. Russ, not us. So, yeah, it's one of those, if you look into the lore, there's actually something to him, and it's kind of funny, but I'll get into my headcanon more when we get to the robot mode. But he's fine. He's alright. Let's just get these out of the way and transform him. So, it's standard Cheetor. I shouldn't have to walk you through this, but we're going to pop the tail off. You can leave it on for the transformation, but it doesn't work in robot mode, so you might as well just pop it off. I'm not going to walk you through this because I honestly don't have to. I could have done this in a jump cut and you would never have known because you've seen this before several times. And not the band from Gravity Falls. Several times. What? Gravity Falls is cool. Yeah.
It is.
It is cool. Can't believe there's no second season. Oh. Fall down on the back, crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Sorry, British kids disco. Anyway, so there he is in his robot mode, and it makes a big difference from the beast mode, doesn't it? With all the silver and the yellow, it breaks it up a lot more. You know, and that's something that maybe it needs. Just a little, even if it's like a very dark grey, just gently brushed across the edges or something, just to highlight the edges of some of the fur. Just something. I might do it, I might not. I'll have to see how I get on. But here he is, and I don't know. Let me ask my co-host. What do you think of this?
Don't know why they didn't make like a mask that comes down for the beast face.
You don't know why it's just not a separate mask?
Yeah, they didn't show the face.
Because the way it transforms, there's not a lot of space and a mask would have got stuck. You know, because it's got to fold round and go into the neck like that.
It's just like a disconnecting, like you put it on and then you can take it off.
It's probably just too much hard work, mate, honestly. I see what you're saying, but that's not the way they did it. But I've got a theory on that, so we'll get to that. But what do you think of the colours and everything compared to the beast mode?
Better.
Yeah? It's nice just broken up with a bit of colour, isn't it? Yeah. See, he knows. He's smart. And it's cool. It's got a nice little Predacon symbol there, which is really nicely done. The thing that kind of blew me away about this, when I actually started messing with him and thinking about it, because this weapon's still stupid, I don't like it, is of all the Predacons they had, how many were like warm-blooded mammals? None. They're all like insects, dinosaurs, arachnids. There were no actual beast ones. So he's kind of unique as far as my Predacon set goes. So I'm legitimately quite pleased with him. I mean, you could say briefly, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The the wolf bird thing. Can't remember his name, didn't like him, he's boring. Someone will put it in the comments, there you go. But I quite like him. And you get the size comparison, the obvious size comparison being Cheetor. And they do look different, don't they? Yeah. It's amazing how much a paint job can bring a difference to a figure. I mean, the heads, I'll get to the heads, okay. But it does bring a lot of difference to the character, and that I love that little Decepticon symbol. Honestly, it's just a really nicely placed detail. I mean, he's got the tiny little Maximal one on his head, but that's just cool. And it's like, you get the original Cheetor, which is this fella here, okay? And you have the Cheetor head. But one thing they did on the original was if you folded it down, they got a beastie monster head, which is what his is. And you think, well, couldn't they have just done that, but on that? And not really, unfortunately, due to the way it transforms and stuff, the tightness of the space, not really.
Chest.
The chest? What's different about the chest?
It's folded down.
That one? I like to put it that way. You can put it that way if you want, but I don't like doing that because you struggle to see the face over the top of it. But I'll do that way just for you. So you can't unfortunately do that. So basically, they've got the same figure, had the optional head gimmick as an excuse for two different figures. But I'll take that compared to the, the Beast set, the Beast multi-pack, where you had two heads for the figures and you had to literally rip them off. I'm not doing that. Creatures Collide, that's the one. So they basically used that head gimmick as an excuse to have two different figures. And I'm going to give it a pass. Honestly, I'm going to let them get away with it because that head just works for me. For some reason, this figure works for me. I don't think it should, but it does. And do you want to know what my headcanon is? Do you want to know what my headcanon is? That this, because he was in Beast Wars briefly, G1 Ravage. They found him half dead, forced his body into a protoform, copying Cheetor's DNA, and that's why he's so mangled and horrific, because he didn't, he shouldn't have had a proper robot mode. So in my head, this is G1 Ravage mangled into a Beast Wars form. That's my headcanon, and that makes him cooler. See? You want one now, don't you? See? That's cool. Yeah. But you see, with this little head gimmick, turning that into that, they did do it with another figure. Let me just move this out of the way a little bit. Because you see, there's also Tigertron. And Tigertron is basically from a Deluxe to a Voyager version of Cheetor. But they've tooled up the head sculpt and all the rest of it. But he's basically that into that. But you know what else they did? Looking at this. They did a version of that with one of these heads. And it's a proper tiger, not a white tiger. And apparently it's like £12 or something in TK Maxx if I find one. So now I kind of want that. Because I think that's going to be a Predacon as well. Why do I want that? Just because of this guy? Like, I know a lot of people, like Ninja Build doesn't like this mould at all. I think he got Cheetor, didn't like it, got him, and has just left him in his beast mode. And that's everyone's choice. But I just think this guy, especially with the Ravage headcanon, he's just got like this dead, soulless eyes of like that minion that follows the boss around, and you never know exactly what's going on, and he's going to beat you up and steal your soul. Like Black Noir from The Boys, before they ruined him. He's just got this persona about him, this edge to him, and I kind of like it. The weapon's still terrible. I would love to get an upgrade kit for him. But he's cool. So now I kind of want Mutant Tigertron, or whatever his name is. Is it Tigertron? I can't remember. Whatever his name is. I kind of want the other one now. I never wanted him before. Anyway, I'm going to Scarpa because it's Friday night. I've got a meal to go to. And new toy to play with. Ooh, new toy to play with. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love my son. He's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to Scarpa. So I should be ugly. I should be wretched. And when someone replaces my head with a prettier one, see what I did there. I shall see all of you next time. Bye-bye. I completely mangled that. Bye.